We can almost see the complete picture. Things won't be finalized until March of 2026 as far as the final group of teams that will be at the 2026 World Cup, but man, we're close. We now know the final paths to the tournament, and soon the group stage draw will happen as well on December 5th. Crazy. So guys, let's go over all of the final teams who qualified for the tournament, those who made the two different playoffs, European playoff and inter-confederation playoff, and finally the results of those draws. Who's playing who? Let's go. Hey, just a quick note from editor Adrian here. I assumed something, and I don't want to assume anything, so the reason why I don't go over CONMEBOL or Oceania in this video is because they were sorted out long ago. This is mostly focusing on what happened in this window. UEFA still had sorting, Asia for playoffs, CONCACAF qualifying and playoff, Africa, inter-confederation playoff, etc. A lot of UEFA to get through, so in Group A, despite some worries for Germany after their uninspired victory over Luxembourg, they got the job done, and then some against Slovakia with a punishing 6-0. Everyone in the attack looked good, and if you're Nagelsmann, it's about now maintaining this level going forward. But with the loss, Slovakia go through in the playoff spot. Group B, and Switzerland booked their spot at the World Cup with a draw against Kosovo. Kosovo have been one of the stories of the qualification cycle as they have a shot at qualifying still. Prior to this match, Switzerland just had to avoid losing by 11, 12 goals, so it was all but confirmed that Switzerland would top the group. Group C, I think the match of the UEFA win, well, maybe Ireland have that honor, but Scotland taking on Denmark was unbelievable. We already knew these two were finishing in 1 and 2. We just didn't know who would be where. And throughout this match, you didn't have a clue either, as it was a constant back and forth, with that second half being one of the best I've seen in a pretty long time. What a match. I mean, Shankland with that weird goal where it looked like Schmeichel was too concerned with trying to shove him out of the way. Looked like he would be Lord Shankland after that, but Patrick Dorgu with the dagger, which brought it to 2-2 on the night and would have seen Denmark go through in first. Hampton Park with the air absolutely ripped out of it, only for Kieran Tierney to rip the hearts out of the... That's a violent image, but... What a classy way to send your country to your first World Cup in almost 30 years. The whip on that ball. You couldn't ask him to hit it any better. Beautiful strike from Tierney. And a nice one from Kenny McLean as well. Different kind of nice, but nice indeed to make it 4-2. Oh, I forgot to even mention the way that Scott McTominay opened the scoring. I mean, this guy is just getting better and better. Unbelievable overhead kick. 4-2 Scotland, and they head straight to the World Cup. Denmark heading straight into the playoff. Group D, France head through in first, no surprise there, but the playoff spot for Ukraine was fun, man. So Ukraine and Iceland, a bit of history now that with the Euro qualification playoff that they had against each other back in March of 2024. It's the 83rd minute, and a goal from Alexander Zubkov gives Ukraine the lead. They double it later, but that caused Ukraine to actually leapfrog Iceland into the playoff. I do feel for Iceland, but what a great moment for Ukraine playing out of Warsaw. Huge moment for them as they have a chance to make a World Cup for the first time since 2006, Shevchenko days. Group E didn't have much going on in this final window as Turkey and Spain were the runaway group toppers. Really poor showing from Georgia in this qualification cycle, not able to achieve the heights that they managed at Euro 2024. Spain through in first, Turkey to the playoff. Group F had a ton of fun. Portugal, first of all, losing to Ireland thanks to a brace from Troy Parrott. What a window this guy had. That complicated things for Portugal, but only slightly, as they had Armenia for their final match, of which they won 9-1. Zhuang Nev's free kick. Did you see that? And look, if Ronaldo doesn't get a red card against Ireland, that free kick goal doesn't happen against Armenia. What a hit. What a hat trick from Zhuang Neves. Ireland, again, one of the moments of the European window, perhaps the moment, actually, though Scotland is also difficult to overshadow. But Ireland's comeback against Hungary, you had Hungary taking the lead in the first half, making it 2-1 in the 37th minute. Then, in the 80th, Troy Parrott got his second of the match to level things. That second goal was beautifully worked, by the way. Some lovely football from Ireland. Then cue the unbelievable scenes. Not the most beautiful goal he scored this international window, which, by the way, he scored 5 in 2 matches, but absolutely a goal that Troy Parrott will it will be difficult to top that in his lifetime as far as impact. 96th minute, a swipe past the keeper, and Ireland leapfrog Hungary into the playoff spot. Hungary eliminated. If Ireland managed to qualify, it would be their first appearance since the 2002 World Cup, where they went out in the round of 16 via a shootout. Group G, Poland defeated Malta 3-2, and with the Netherlands defeating Lithuania 4-0. The Netherlands go through in first, with Poland into the playoff. Netherlands, a team I'm going to be watching very closely at the World Cup. Very closely. I like a lot of the talent on that team. Group H, the big match was Austria versus Bosnia and Herzegovina, as B&H had a big chance to leapfrog Austria, sending them to the playoff should B&H find a way to win in Vienna. After 12 minutes, they had a lead after having a lovely start to the match. Haris Tabakovic scoring just his third international goal, and it looked for a long time as if that would send Bosnia straight to the World Cup. That is until the 77th minute when Austria broke their hearts. Michael Gregoric hopped on a ball that rebounded off the bar to bring Austria level, and a draw was all Austria needed to finish above them, so they're going to the World Cup for the first time since 1998. Congrats to them. Rangnick making big changes there. In Group I made a video about what happened with Italy, as this game was essentially just playing for pride against Norway, and Italy were humbled 4-1 by Mr. Humble, the Humbler, Erling Haaland. Honestly, an unbelievable qualification run from Norway with 37 goals scored. Italy managed 21 and just 5 goals conceded by Norway. And so, for the third qualification campaign running, Italy will be in a playoff. It's pretty crazy. 2 group stage exits in a row, followed up by 2 missed World Cups in a row. Italy have some yips, some World Cup yips. Norway, for their part, their first World Cup since 1998. I did a video on their success as well, so do check that out if you please. In Group J, Belgium had to hold off Wales by equaling or bettering their score. Who did Belgium play against? Liechtenstein. What was the score? About 1,000,000, just as Wales smoked North Macedonia. So, as initially expected, Belgium do go through in first, Wales off to the playoff. Group K, Albania getting into the playoff is cool. They have a qualification campaign they can really be proud of. England, them as well, as yes, they were expected to win the group, but to win every single game and not concede a single goal, that's a statement. Mind you, England always smashes qualification, but in this style is impressive. Group L, there was a fun moment where it looked like Faroe Islands would cause an upset and make it into the playoff at the expense of Czechia, but Faroe Islands just fell short. Still, impressive from them, so Czechia to the playoff, Croatia to the World Cup. To Africa now, as Nigeria make the final against DR Congo and end up going out in a shootout. It was absolutely remarkable that Nigeria even made it to the playoff with how things were going into the final international window of group play, that being in October, right? The fact that they were able to jump into the playoff spot was against a lot of odds, wasn't it? They came alive a little too late. Reason being, they got Osimhen back and firing in the last couple of windows. His hat trick against Benin was integral. He scored a brace against Gabon, but against DR Congo, he couldn't find a goal. So DR Congo win via a shootout, and Nigeria go out with Nigeria's head coach Eric Shelle saying that our DRC were doing some voodoo on the bench during the shootout, hence that scrum at the end of the shootout. And for the second tournament running, Nigeria will not be at the World Cup, which is a shame for them and their supporters, as they're such a huge historic footballing nation. However, you don't qualify based on your history, right? And Nigeria's failings are their federation's own fault, who actually apologized in a statement. They said much more of that, but on the other side, DRC have a chance to make their first World Cup since 1974, and they're in some strong form at the moment with quite the squad at the disposal of Sébastien Desabre. He is very familiar with African football, having coached in Egypt, Morocco, UAE also, not in Africa, Angola, Uganda. He's been around. He coached DRC to 4th place at the most recent Africa Cup of Nations, the 2023 edition, and defeated Cameroon, the African team with the most World Cup qualifications, in the semi-final of the Continental Playoff. Before that, they finished just 2 points behind Senegal, another giant. So in the Intercontinental Playoff, these guys cannot be taken lightly. In fact, they'll go in as one of the 2 favorites. And hey, this will be the first time they've played a competitive match off of the continent in about 50 years. In the AFC, Asian Football Confederation, we had the 5th and final round, which was a playoff between Iraq and United Arab Emirates to see who would advance to the inter-confederation playoffs. The first leg in Abu Dhabi ended in a 1-1 draw, meaning it was all to play for in Basra, Iraq. Almost a disaster right from the start with a mix-up at the back, but Iraq recovered. And in the second half, UAE grabbed the lead, stunning counterattack where they took advantage of a defender slip, played Kyle Lucas through, and he finished cleanly, and it is so funny seeing him play for UAE. I remember when he was at Benfica. UAE almost made it 2-0 on the night after Jimenez hit the crossbar, but a big match from Iraq's Amir El Amari from dead ball situations, as in the 66th minute he set up Mohanad Ali with a curling free kick into the box to head past Khalid Isa. So it was 1-1. And he should have made it 2-1. As Iraq were surging and one-on-one with the keeper, he took a terrible touch and it just got away from him. Another chance for him in the 95th, but he lifted it over the goal. Then finally, with seemingly never-ending stoppage time, a penalty was given as the ball was headed into the UAE midfielder's Yahya Nader's arm. Penalty converted in the 17th minute of added time. Iraq through thanks to El Amari's penalty. This UAE team is interesting as there is a ton of naturalized UAE players. The amount of Brazilians, Argentinians, South Americans in general, Portuguese guys from Africa. It's interesting. But anyway, Iraq will be in the Confederation playoff. My confederation as a Canadian. Wow. What a qualification cycle for CONCACAF. Now, when you have 3 host nations from CONCACAF, the 3 strongest, you really open up the field for CONCACAF nations to qualify in some incredible stories. First of all, no doubt you've heard that the smallest nation to ever qualify for a World Cup has arrived via Curaçao with a population of 156,000 people. Madness. They held on for a draw away to Jamaica in order to ensure that they finished top of their group. Then you also had Panama finishing ahead of Suriname, so Panama qualifies, which isn't anything new, but Suriname is heading to the inter-confederation playoff. Unbelievable. And finally, the story that had to make you smile, Haiti's journey. Drawing their opening 2 matches, beating Nicaragua, then losing 3-0 to Honduras. But in their final 2 matches, they get a 1-0 win over Costa Rica as Honduras lose to Nicaragua, meaning if they can better Honduras' results on the final match day, they will go to their first World Cup since 1974, same as DR Congo, actually. Now, Haiti haven't been able to play matches at home in Haiti for 4 years now, so they played this home match in Curaçao. 9 minutes in, they were ahead. By the end of the first half, it was 2-0, and that was the final score, sending Haiti to the World Cup. Unbelievable. The people of Haiti absolutely deserve this. And so as the 2 best second-place teams from qualifying, Jamaica and Suriname are heading to the Inter-Confederation playoff. In fact, let's go there now. Hi, good morning. New Adrian here. So, of course, there are 2 tournaments going on here for the final 6 qualification spots. UEFA has 4 more teams to add via their qualification tournament, and the Inter-Confederation tournament from FIFA will provide a further 2 more teams. First off, how did the Inter-Confederation draw work? Well, the 2 highest ranked teams were seeded, those being DR Congo and Iraq, so they automatically will play in the 2 finals because, again, 2 teams are coming from this tournament. So DR Congo and Iraq don't play each other. They instead play against one of the 4 other teams, being Jamaica, New Caledonia, Bolivia, or Suriname. And so from the draw, final number 1 has the highest seed, DR Congo. They will play that final against the winner of New Caledonia from Oceania, the lowest ranked of the teams, or Jamaica, who haven't made a World Cup since 1998. The other final had Iraq, given they're the 2nd highest seed in the playoff, and they will play for a spot in the World Cup against the winner of the match between Suriname and Bolivia. As for the UEFA tournament, you had the 12 runners-up making it into the playoff, as well as 4 teams based on their Nations League performance, in which you had to go all the way down to League C to find the teams that didn't already qualify automatically and didn't finish runners-up as well. So those joining from the Nations League are Romania, Sweden, North Macedonia, and Northern Ireland. Here are the 4 pots. And all you need to know is that for the 4 different paths, the semifinals would see pot 1 teams taking on pot 4 teams and pot 2 teams taking on pot 3 teams. And the results of the draw were Path A, Italy are hosting Northern Ireland, and the winner will play the final against the winner of Wales versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. If you're Italian, not a cakewalk. Path B, you have Ukraine versus Sweden, and the winner there will play the winner of Poland versus Albania for the Path B final. Path C sees Turkey taking on Romania, and the winner here will play against the winner of Slovakia and Kosovo. And Path D has Denmark playing North Macedonia, and the winner of that match plays the winner of Czechia and Ireland. So we'll see. Again, 6 places up for grabs, and all of these matches will be competed for in March of 2026. Very, very excited to see those go down. Guys, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it as always, and we'll see you for some more World Cup coverage early next week. I'm cooking up something for you. What could it be? We'll see. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.